accent should be on the eyes, not too much, not too dark. Obviously, it can blend in with the colour that suits you. The 70s, it did look natural. It looked a bit shiny. There was a little bit of makeup on the eyes, there was. We still had to accept them. And it was more of a glossy look on the lips.
Shoulders back, your head at the right angle. And remember, when you're doing your turn, to make it smooth and graceful, all right? Would you like to come down and do a half turn for me, please? The right turn for me.
These women are buying $60 worth of professional guidance in deportment, grooming, social and business etiquette and conversation techniques. They've come to the Pat Woodley Beauty School in answer to this message. Many astute wives have realised that their husband's future success can only be achieved if they groom themselves for new social strata.
Oh, that's my school, the Pat Woodley School. Oh, that's exciting. But that was one of the ads that we did. Oh, very good. And it's lovely to see that. We had great fun and we did a lot of good for those women.
The school reinforces its ability to turn out better executive wives with a seductive series of before and after photographs.
What about that awful music behind there? Music that's ridiculing the whole idea. We wanted the girls to look good and to be able to appear in any situation.
And this beauty school is not just cashing in on the desire of every woman to be more attractive. It's a fact that many Australian companies today insist on checking out the wife of a prospective executive.
That you're being stretched.
Why was it necessary for us to do this course? Well, business was booming. There were big companies, BHP, and because there's more work, they had to have more executives.
Brian Chown is managing director of a firm which finds top men to fill highly paid executive jobs and top women to go with them.
I can think of a case of an executive whose rise to fame in his organisation stopped fairly suddenly because of the fact that he had married a lass somewhat, I don't want to be snobbish in saying this, but below his station in life.
What does he do about that?
Well, what can he do about it? He has a couple of choices open to him. It is possible that his wife, if she is genuinely interested in the progression of her husband in his vocation, will do something about improving herself or her English, and there are many ways open for her to do this. Or if it's the question of her presentation of herself, she can do something about this. On the other hand, it's quite possible that the executive will decide that he's not going to be frustrated in the attainment of his goals, and therefore he does something a little bit more drastic. He decides to, get a new wife.
I don't like him at all with what he's saying. Those women were special. They made beautiful homes, and I don't think they should be degraded.
And there is a correct and an incorrect way to hold a glass.
Yes, it was a time where women were not recognised. They weren't given the status that they should have had.
I'm hoping for a miracle, I think.
You're hoping for a miracle. What does
yes.
that mean?
Well, I need a lot of polishing up, and I'd like to be more sure of myself. I am very unsure of myself.
These women were wonderful, but they did need help because they had been concentrating on looking after the home for their lovely executive husband. But now she was going to be a white ally for him.
In between each second mouthful of food that you take, you should have a sip of wine.
If you were at a banquet, then you know the basis of what you need to do.
You pick up your knife and your fork and you hold them this way.
And generally it's like if there's knives and forks there, well, you start on the outside and work in, because there might be several courses, you see, and where you put the glass for wine or for water, all of those things. Now, we did that and they practiced it, and that was important.
Miss Robin Bra is office manager for another management consultant who recruits executives for its client companies.
And it is at the personal referee level that you would inquire about what the wife is like, because this is people who know them, who've mixed with them socially. They can give an indication how she mixes, drinks, smokes, and generally conducts herself.
Have you, on behalf of your company, ever been in the position of professionally observing the wife of a prospective employee?
Yes, I have. I have been called upon. Only last week I was at a function where a young executive wife was there. It was a dinner party. Long dress was worn, of course, and she had a stole on, a fur stole. And how critical the eye is. The matron, when she was leaving, called her over and said, "I don't know whether you realise, dear, that tails on fur stole have gone out." She took them off and said, "Put these in your handbag, and perhaps you'd like to have a fur collar made." She was being critical of the fact that she hadn't kept up with fashion and that they were spoiling her outfit.
I think what she said was very cruel. Can you imagine that poor woman? She was taken out of her safety home and plonked into this situation. When you talk about fashion, you know, in the 70s, yes, it was very precise, yes. The bouffant hairstyles, a lot of the makeup, the styles of the clothes. Nowadays, it's entirely different. We feel much more relaxed. Unfortunately, it seems to be, in fashion, a lack of respect.
So you play it the company way.
All company policy is by me, okay?
You'll never rise up to the top.
But there's one thing clear. Whoever the company fires, I will still be
You
here.
will still be